Yo, it's Guido coming at you with a coffee talk from the left side of the Atlantic.
And it's Pilgrim coming at you from the correct side of the Atlantic with a new mug. Or not so new mug, actually. This mug has been in the family for some years. But because the mug, and it's full of Royal Blend tea, by the way, because the mugs have been packed and I've been using this standard old green thing, while I was packing stuff, I came across this, and there's a story with this. All right, this mug, if you can see, it says, I'll have to read it out to you, 350th anniversary of the Siege of Hereford. I lived in Hereford for a number of years. It was one of my army postings. So this mug was to celebrate 350 years. Now, talking about history, right? Talking about history. The thing is, with the UK, as you all know, we've got this massive long history, goes back 2,000 years. So it's nice to actually do something that we're still celebrating stuff that went on like 350 years ago. And you've got to say, hang on a minute, who sieged Hereford? I mean, what the question is? Who was sieging Hereford?
What year?
In 1645.
1645.
There's a question there, isn't there? When you think about it, you think, oh look, they've got a commemorative mug. In when was it? 1995, when I was in Hereford, right? So they produced a commemorative. I mean, you know.
War of the Roses?
Oh no.
No.
It was a somewhat slightly earlier than that. No, sorry, slightly later than that.
Later than that.
Yeah. So what happened? You're a republic.
The nasty Republicans. It was the nasty Republicans.
Yes. Well, you see, it was the English Civil War.
Yeah.
Parliamentarians against against the Royalists.
Royalists.
Well, of course, me being a Royalist, we celebrated the fact that Hereford was a Royalist city and it withstood a siege by the parliamentarians, but not any parliamentarians. I'll give you this. It was the bloody jocks. The jocks came down and supported the parliamentarians, and they tried to siege Hereford. Well, they got their blue faces kicked, well and truly, didn't they? Bloody jocks. Send them back up to Scotland. Stop coming down here involving yourself in our fight. Go on, fuck it off. Go and drink your whiskey, put your skirts on, and piss off. There you go. That's
the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Exactly.
Opportunistic. Yeah. I like it. Opportunistic.
And here's the connection to World of Tanks, which you don't know about.
They had a tank.
No.
No.
They had a name, which is a British tank in World of Tanks. The Covenanter. The Covenanter is the Scottish army that came down to fight with to fight against the Royalists with the parliamentarians. It's the Scottish Covenanter army under the command of an Earl of Leven. So another dodgy dude as well. But anyway, so yeah. So that's where the Covenator comes from. And talking about Covenator,
and you were so angry you made some crockery out of it.
We did, yes. We made a celebratory crockery. Well, the point about this is that in England we still celebrate anniversaries 350 years later. You guys celebrate an anniversary of what happened last year. Don't you really, you know?
Well, we celebrate...
Something happened last year, so let's make a mug about it.
We celebrate something 350 years ago.
No, we're not going there.
The discovery of or at least the European discovery.
Yes. Well, the freedom from the English.
Of some islands.
Something you celebrate, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, just to top and tail the...
Mostly we thank the French for helping us out to kick your booty out of here.
Another load of turncoat assholes from somewhere that doesn't call themselves English come to help fight the English. Yeah, we're hating world over. Covenator, by the way, is where the British wheeled tanks is going to lead off from. So there's your connection.
That's right. So all of that was just to get to the British wheeled tanks are leading off of the Covenator. All right, excellent. How's everybody doing? Good morning.
All good.
Good morning, my friends. Oh man. Hey, any mods in there will keep an eye on. I had a whole bunch of bots sitting in chat when we started up. We banned a few of them, but keep an eye on all that stuff for me, guys. I'd appreciate it. Well, good morning. It is Sunday the 23rd, April. And you know what, Pilgrim?
What's that?
I almost got my power turned off.
No.
Yeah, so I get the power bill, and I usually toss the bills on the table right here, and then once a month I get
Yeah.
to them, maybe twice a month I'll go through them and do all that stuff.
All right.
So I get
Got
the,
direct debits and stuff with it, I guess.
well, most of it, but some of it I actually go into my bank account and pay directly from the bank
Pay it,
account,
okay.
all that kind of crap. So I got the power bill, and I open it up, I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, that looks a little different. Didn't really read it, so I get in there and start getting ready to pay the bill, and on my bank one, when I click in that thing to pay, there's a little drop down. It says you've paid this month, this month, this month, this month, and I'm like, well, how come April doesn't have a payment?
Oh.
Or March? I guess it was March. How come March doesn't have a payment? I'm like, oh, that's weird. Whatever. So I type in the thing, and I start looking, and I look at the bill again. I go, wait a minute. And I look down. I'm like, final notice before power is turned off.
Oh, crikey, O'Reilly.
They don't even give you a month, man. Holy
They
crap.
don't like you,
No.
do they?
No, they're like April 27th, which is 4 days from now. That would have
Oh,
sucked. I'd have got up in the morning and tried to turn my lights on, and
Wow.
So
That
I-
would have been interesting, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's
Do it
like-
with a candle.
I'm like, holy shit, man! I haven't. It's like, okay, I think I can afford that.
Have you have you got a generator backup? Have you?
I tell you what, and it would have been a total ass pain, right? First of all, I'd have to figure out why, because you think the scenario through your brain, like, all right, so you come, probably would happen during the day. So you come home, and there's no power at your house. You're like, oh, okay, so the power's out, and then you look around at your neighbors, and their power's on, and then you're like, well, what the hell's going on? And then you're calling them, and then
Yeah.
it'll be a $200 re-hook fee or some BS
Yeah.
like that,
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
'Cause it takes $100 to press a button to put you back on, doesn't it?
Yeah, and then they'll say something like, okay, everyone's it's after work hours, so we'll turn it on tomorrow or something like that. And then the wife would come home and absolutely eviscerate you.
Yeah, you'd be like, your fault, you didn't pay the bills.
Like, son of a.
Yeah. Thank goodness, though. Thank
Oh,
goodness you
man.
caught it early.
I'll tell you what. And then I had to dig up a piece of decorative fence so I could get ready for the guy to do the well.
Oh gosh, is that a still ongoing thing?
Oh yeah,
Remember that?
yeah. It looks like I'm gonna have to dig a new shallow well.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Is that because the pump is okay, but it's just draining
No, pump's
wet?
dead. Pump's dead. Tank's
Okay.
dead. That's a thing. It burned itself out, and then it lost the prime. And then they found out that they thought the jet was bad. Then they tried to pull the jet out to see what was going on. And that's when they broke the pipe.
Oh, gosh almighty. Oh dear. Ah dear.
I'm not sure I'm going to put the fence back in midnight. I mean, the post holes are dug. That's not the problem. Who knows if they'll still be around by the time they get done stomping around and digging the other well. But
Are they, have they got underground maps? Or do they know where stuff is before they start digging holes? Do you know what I mean? You don't want to hit a sewer or something, do you?
no, I know where the sewer is. There's nothing over there. The only thing they
Ah.
could potentially hit is the sprinkler system. So I gotta, but the control head for the sprinkler system is right next to the old well because that was the point of it.
All right.
But then I pulled up the thing to look at the old sprinkler system, and I'm looking at like, I don't know how old all this wiring and these things are. I'm like, well, there's the next thing. That's going to
Yeah.
break.
Yeah.
Like, oh. Oh, man, what a
It's like
total...
ongoing, isn't it?
Oh, it's just
Never,
a
ever do
complete
something.
pain in the arse. The good news is, because I was pulled it up and was digging around, I was finally able to dig out. I've got, I don't know what they're called. They're the low level palm trees that mostly just have like, they're not really trees, they're like palm bushes.
Right, got
Can't
you.
remember what the hell they're called. It was cased, odd dog, but he broke the damn tube off halfway down, and it fell back in.
Yeah. That's the thing, isn't it? Oh.
Yeah, just let the grass die. It's the garden I need. It's the garden I need freaking
Yeah.
watered.
Oh, well, of course, if you've got herbs growing, then you want to keep that water,
Yeah.
don't you?
Yeah, so that's all being hand watered right now. That's a big pain in the rear
Wow.
end. Palmetto stickler,
Concrete
thank
it
you.
Over, mate.
Palmetto, yeah, palmetto or sago, something like that. Yeah. Anyway, there was one that was right up under that fence that was hard to get to, and once I pulled the fence up, I dug that sucker out and got rid of him. So that was good.
Yeah. Well,
Good morning,
hello
Bonzi.
to everybody. We've got somebody
Yeah.
from Croatia jumping in.
Oh,
Dobar
very
dan.
nice. Very nice. Welcome to Croatia. Let's see. So, what do we got going on? Pilgrim, are you aware, sir, that the Wattpocalypse has been canceled?
I've heard a rumour. I wasn't sure. I was waiting for today to get it confirmed.
Yeah.
So it is definitely cancelled, is it now?
Well, I mean, the game could be destroyed later on this afternoon, but for the moment, the game is not going to be destroyed.
Okay, so I've got a couple of hours then.
Right.
Oh, that's good.
And so the gatekeepers of the purple equipment have won the day.
Right.
Yeah.
There you are. So right. So yes, I don't want to say too much, but yeah.
Well, I mean, if you
Yes.
just let everybody move purple equipment willy nilly,
Yeah. What's that all about?
that's too much willy nilly.
It's far too much willy.
Way too much. It's just
Ruin it.
complete willy nilliness, willy nilly nilly.
It becomes very convoluted, the game then, and other big words
Well-
like that, meaning mishmash.
Destroyed, really.
Yeah, destroyed. Willy-nilly mishmash destroyed.
Yeah, just glass parking lot, just nuked.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
So, thankfully, we've got a stay of execution for a couple of hours then. That's
it
good.
was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yep.
Had a few games in them.
We'll
Thanks
get
for the win rate, Rob.
we'll get to that in a minute, my friends. Let's see. Channel news. What we got going on? 100 Battle Challenge. I did finish, although I just
Cool.
spelled it said.
I did it.
What? I got to fix this. It's irritating me. Finished the SMB 56. I think that's what it's called.
Cool. Yeah.
SMB CC 56. Did all right with that one.
All right.
Yeah, I kind of liked it. That's the Italian auto-loading Tier 7 TD with a
Cool.
sort of turret thing. Ended up 2-marking it, so that all worked out. I'm currently working the
See,
Stir.
that. I guess that I'm not saying that you can't two-mark tanks. I know you can, but if you're doing a 100 battle challenge, you're also taking out tanks that are probably very rarely played. So some must be quite easy to get marked up if they're not being played so much by the better
Yeah.
players. If you see what I mean. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I tend to grind a lot of them. Not necessarily lately, but especially the earlier ones. And then it's a new tank. If I can get to 2 marks in 100 battles, for me anyway, that makes me I'm
That's
doing
really
okay.
good.
Yeah, and then I can kind of grind out the rest. Even though 100 is the minimum, it's not the minimum. That's not true. You could 3 mark it less, but 100 is the window which it uses.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some I only get to 1 mark, really, to be quite honest. So I'm pretty happy with the 2 mark these days. I really have
Yeah.
to sit down and grind out 3 marks. And
3 marks. Yeah, it is. You've got to focus
Yeah.
on it completely.
I mean, better players could probably sit down with especially 7s and 8s and knock out a 3
Yeah.
mark in 100 battles.
Yeah.
But I haven't ended up 3 mark. I haven't 3 marked something in a year or two.
Long time, yeah. I think as the player base gets more longevity, the harder it's going to get because it's just and there's so many tanks in.
Well, it's a moving average, so I mean, I don't know.
Yes.
But I think I'll, at the risk of angering people, I'm really just kidding with you, but I call it the 3 mark fetish. Because there's so many fetishists right now, it does drive up the requirements as people, try to 3 mark, and they're doing better
Yeah.
and better. It's like a self-licking ice cream cone. It's as they get better, the marks go up. Now they will drop down if other people start playing and all that kind of stuff. So it does this quite a bit. But I would say overall, in the last few years of the 3 mark thing becoming a thing, the requirements are a bit higher than when it started for more or less everything.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, it's not just going to keep on going up and up and up and up. That's not what I'm saying. I'm
No,
just
there'll
saying.
be a leveling out at some point.
Yeah, the skill level to hit a 3 mark these days is, I think, a bit higher than it was when 3 marks started.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Oh, I'm glad you got them out of the way. What's the next on the
Yeah.
100 battle challenge then?
I'm doing the 103B, the Kari, the Sturv K,
All right.
and the P88, which is the one I added once I took the SMB. I guess.
like the P88.
Yeah.
It's got a bad
Yeah.
rep, but I do like it.
Yeah, I
It's
think
a bit of fun.
I'm doing a 7, 8, 9, and 10, and a couple of them I have a couple things. I threw the Scorpion, the unpainted Scorpion one,
Yeah.
in the mix because I'm not using any bounty equipment. That's my kind of what's the word for
Placebo.
yeah, control.
Control.
Yeah, just kind of. This is nothing official. I'm just kind of watching its stats and how I do with it as compared to all the things I have the bounty equipment on. And then there's another tier 10 chucked in the mix, the M5Y. That's there because hopefully somewhere along the way I drop a 6,500 damage game and finish that mission. So there's a couple other things going along, so I'm able to sort of work several things at once right there.
Right, got you.
And then I chuck the Mana Core in because I just like playing it.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of trying to get it to 1,000 battles. I want to say it's at 900 something.
Really? You've done over 900 battles already?
892. So I'm trying to get it to 1,000. Yeah. So eventually, someday in the near next year or so, I'll get that thing to 1,000.
Wow, amazing! Absolutely amazing. You wouldn't have thought when you started. I mean, how old's the Mana Core now? 2 years? I want to say.
It's got to be way older than that. I bet it's 4 years.
Oh, yeah.
Might even be more,
yeah,
man.
Yeah. Way before COVID. Yeah.
Yeah. It might even be more than that. I don't know. I'm not sure how long.
All
right. So that's what's going on with that. I do expect to stream next week, guys. I will be Class B again. My wife's got another school trip, so I'm hoping to stream a couple, 3 times. Is the plan. I don't have a day for you right now, but we'll see. It may actually be more like early evening ones because I won't have any days off, but I will have evenings to myself.
Evenings, yeah. Well, I'll be free on Friday-ish, although I'm picking keys up on Friday, but that's just collecting the keys. So, but I'll be free on Friday. I mean, work Monday too.
So Pilgrim's moving. Pilgrim's moving.
Oh, yes.
So we should see him next week, theoretically, and then he'll be out for a week and then back the next week.
Internet
depending. And I understand that when he does come back, he has, in his new house, developed a bespoke studio. So we should see him in his new studio with all of the...
crikey, now you're saying. I might have to do some sort of mock-up behind me now. With engineers busily beavering away. Actually, it'll be a hobbit hole. So I'll show you the outside of it. There'll be a hole in the hill.
I miss Stickler.
Trailer park, Wayne.
I miss Stickler's comment. That's true. So let's.
Yeah.
So let's all gird our loins for the fact that wheeled British tanks will destroy the game. Very interesting. You say that. We're going to get to that video because it's telling the way they describe. It's telling the way they describe the British wheeled tanks. Yeah. Yeah, the studio, the studio porch, 2019. Thanks, C-Playa. Appreciate that. 2019 is yep.
The C-Playa isn't just full of dad jokes. He actually knows stuff as well.
Cliffy Jr.
Yeah, Cliffy Jr. Learning the trade.
Learning the trade. All right, I think that's it for channel news, guys. You got anything else there, Pilgrim?
No, I think we're up to date with all that, aren't we?
All right, well, let's get the blue lights out and let's get this.
Yeah, let's do this.
Let's get this shilling party started because we have to sell a lot of stuff before the Wattpocalypse is regenerated.
Yes, we do.
Also, there is something for sale that's going to help maybe destroy the game slightly more.
I think so.
All right.
I think there is.
So let's get to it. Where's that? There we go. Let's go over here and get... Oh, son of a... That was going to be so smooth until it wasn't. All right, there we go. Premium shop, Pilgrim. Let's see what we got for sale.
Let's have a... Oh, everything's blue. What's that all about?
So this is Yarn Hub or Yam Hub or something, and I looked it up. It's a YouTube site. They do historical stories with cartoons. They use, well, let me say this, not cartoons. They use animations, let's put it that way. They have a kind of specific style of animation that they use. And I guess one of their colors is blue, and so they painted the tanks blue, even though if you... so somehow they're a content creator that's connected to wargaming. Whether they're a CC or not, I'm not really sure, but Yarn Hub Animation Studios, there you go, animation, is excited to announce special bundles. Getting some feedback from you, Pilgrim.
Oh, turn it down.
Creates inspiring true stories that bring history to life. We're all about the nitty gritty details. So they want to. They're all about the details, and so that's why they have a blue tank.
Because that's historical, isn't it? Because they used to float tanks on the sea, so you couldn't see them because they were painted blue. Historically.
All right, that's just me being a jerk. I don't know that for some that's their color. That's one of their colors. So they if you buy that, you get some blue paint with it. You can also in addition to paint your stuff blue. There you go.
Oh yeah.
Which
Yeah,
tank
I
is
really
it?
want to spend $25 to get some blue paint. Yeah.
That's fascinating because this is the Thunderbolt. This is the Thunderbolt 7, which is a historical tank. I didn't realize you could paint the Thunderbolt blue.
No, but obviously you can.
So does the Thunderbolt? Does it retain its? Wait a minute.
Well, I was just about to say, you already own the vehicle. You get
Yeah.
compensated in gold, minus the applied discount, blah blah blah. But does it then change it to blue, or do you just get the paint in the shop?
So I've got the red white
default.
here. Hold on. I've got the red white and blue thing on mine. But what happens if? Ah, so it's got some permanent decals. I didn't realize there were tanks like that.
Oh, okay. So that thunder on the side is permanent decal.
It stays, yeah, and
Thunderbolt 3.
I think the star stays too. The star does stay as well. Okay, well there you go. I had no idea there was such a thing in the game.
But then we already had blue paint. Did we? Do you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, you're buying blue blue paint. I just didn't realize when you changed the. I thought Thunderbolt was part of that red, white, and blue.
Oh, okay.
Camo I had. I didn't realize that decal stays on there. You can't actually get rid of that decal.
Right, but my question is, we've got paint already purchasable for gold, 20 gold.
Sure.
In the preset styles. So you don't need to buy that to paint your tank blue, do you?
Well, yeah, but you're buying some paint.
Why would you when it's already in there?
Because you want blue paint.
Well, there's already blue paint in the garage.
Well, not for free. You still have to buy it.
Yeah, but it's only 20 gold. You'd have to spend $30 to get it. It's only 20 gold.
Well, you're getting a tank, too.
I don't know. I mean, if you've already got this is Pilgrinomics. If you've got the tank, don't buy the paint. Just go and paint it in the garage. Hey, I'll do it. I'll see if it works. Hang on. I'll do it. Right, hang on. I've got Type 61.
I have no idea what you're talking about right now.
Right, so all right, I'll do it, and you can't see it, but I'll do it anyway.
Well, I know you could do that. What I'm saying is, if you don't have this tank and you want blue paint, then you would buy the package.
Yes, I get that. But if you've got the tank, but you wanted to support the collab, or whatever you want to do, you want maybe the 7 days and have a blue tank. So you want your Thunderbolt to be blue.
Is it
when you purchase that?
Is it called sky blue? Is it called sky blue?
Right. Well, if you go to exterior, I can paint my tank blue. There you go. My tank's blue. Because I've already got paint in the garage that is blue.
But is it called sky blue?
No, it's called blue 85285. So it's not.
There
it's
is
not
sky
the
blue.
same.
There is sky blue. It's all the way at the end. I have some sky blue.
There you go.
In any
You don't
event,
even need the package to paint it blue.
just
That is prime shilling. Don't buy any of those packages if you want to paint any of those tanks in your garage blue. You've already got blue paint. There you go.
all right.
Don't spend a penny. Sorry.
Okie dokie.
That's our commission. Finished with now.
Yeah, that's it. Here, this is why we're going to continue to destroy the game, because the 252U is for sale again.
There you go. There you go. That's what I wanted to get onto. The 252, the tank that destroyed the game, is back on for sale.
Yep.
There you are.
Currently,
There you are.
in the past, currently, and in the future, destroying the game. One overpowered tier 8 at a time, my friends.
Yeah.
Oh, it was the IS-3? Oh. Well, also, there's the Iron Arnie, another tank destroying the game. And The Patton KR is an overpowered tank destroying the game.
Well, there's a lot of tanks that are destroying the game right now, including wheeled tanks, but we'll get onto that.
But it's not. But the KR is not one of them.
Are we sure? No, it's
I
not.
don't know. Is the 252 even good anymore? I have no idea.
I think it's power crapped. I think
Let's
it's got
find
such
out.
a big front plate.
Let's find out, man. Tanks by stat. How's
I mean, look at
the?
the front plate. If you're nowhere near hull down, everybody's got all the weak points on that now.
Where does it
I
fall?
know he's overpowered. What's it
Do.
looking
Oh,
like?
it's still tier two, top 10 in win rate. DPG.
All right.
It is. It's dropped out of DPG. It's outside the top 10. Frags. Ooh, even worse. So it's no longer destroying the game as much as other tanks are destroying the game.
They are. But it was possible to destroy the game earlier on when it came out.
You could destroy the
Nice,
game.
yes.
When it came out, you could drive it and destroy the game.
Yeah.
But now, you can't destroy the game with it.
No. I think the turning point for the ability of that tank to destroy the game was when you, me, and somebody else platooned up in 3 of those and just drove across the map and then got stuck in a corner and all died. And I think that was the turning point where the tank became less overpowered.
That's some solid destroying the game right there.
I think.
Look at the blocked damage on the K2.
Yes.
Look how far an outlier this thing is.
It's incredible, isn't it?
1295, and the 100-01's been top dog in that stat for a long time.
Yeah.
And the this thing is 435 average higher. This is a very small sample size, but wow.
I know, but that's just the average. There's going to be outliers to the outliers, isn't there?
Wow. 1730. So what happens if we go to tier 9? What does the block look like? Oh my god. Let's put 8 back in there. Hell, let's put 10 on there. Let's see what happens here.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh! Even considering tier 10, it only drops to 8th or so.
Wow. So it's still in the top 10.
It drops to 7th.
Definitely destroyed the game, that will.
Now that's not a that's well, I was gonna say that's not a perfect comparison because it does see a lot of lower tier tanks that these other 10s don't see, but still that's pretty crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
Anyway, where were we? We were shilling.
We were. We did quite well, didn't we? Or did I get slagged off there for not killing?
I don't know. You got super angry about the blue paint. I'm not really sure.
I just think, don't bother with them tanks, just paint your tank blue. You've already in the garage. I don't know.
Paint it blue, fellas. Paint it blue.
We'll lead on to something else. That particular part of this coffee tour about blue painted tanks will lead to something else.
All right.
Subject to zero.
1357 GF is out there as well, guys. If you don't have one of
Oh,
those,
that's worth it.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I like that one.
Battle Pass is that, and that's pretty much it from there. Let's go over to the garage, which requires a different button push. Oh my gosh, we've completely lost the plot. All right, here we go. Missions, some things.
Yeah.
Right, Renescarante and the Centurion AX are the top of the tree tanks.
Yeah.
We have crew is crucial, guys. Crew is crucial, my friends. I thought that was actually maybe a reaction to the canceling of the Wattpocalypse, but that was
Oh,
actually
do you think?
no, it was actually scheduled. I looked at it; it was scheduled a month ago, so
Okay.
so no worries there. So if you've got to change crew around or do whatever, and the interesting thing about that is because the major changes of the crew thing have been canceled. It's for now, then you can do standard. If you were basically holding off on moving your crew around or whatever, you might as well do it at this point.
Yeah.
Might as well do it. Crew's crucial. Birthday candles are still usable, fellas. If you come in here, That thing is still here until the 2nd of May, so you actually have a week or so to knock that out. I have 3 candles, but nothing to buy with them. Oh, I have 2 candles, never mind. Wait a minute, I thought I said 3. Oh, rewards to select 3, okay. And your coins and whatever for Twitch Prime, which mine's not showing. Remember, if you use all of your coins, then it disappears, and then when you get another coin, it'll reappear. Don't ask me why.
I don't know. That's rather weird, isn't it?
I don't know. Also, I found this thing. Go ahead.
No, I was just say Twitch Prime. There's a new Prime gaming.
There is.
Yeah.
Which doesn't work for me. It stopped working, and now I can't make it start. All right, check this out. Go to, where is it? Here it is. The second article right here. Battle Pass Challenge, Community Raffle, and Discord giveaways. So if you go here, you can join the challenge with the mouse. It's averaged experience over 10 battles. These are the kind of things I really like. That I wish they would do more of these things. You join the challenge by pressing that button right there. It does have a prime time requirement, which is mega super annoying. And I'm assuming this is Central Time or whatever time you're in. It looks like noon to midnight. So you can't, I guess so you can't, I don't know why. I have no idea why on NA, unless they're worried about people going to South America and farming, but whatever. They've put this here. There's a leaderboard here. You can see I joined, but I haven't played any mouse battles. Now you're buying mouse battles to do this, so
right.
There you go. So that's there, and then the other thing that's there is if you come down here, if you join their Discord, which I already have, so I don't know how that really works. I guess you can only really do this part of these things once. Then you get thrown in. Lance and C. Log in, sign up. Oh, log in or sign up. What if you're always logged in? How does that work?
That's a good point. I don't know. Access Discord via. Oh no.
I mean, I go to my Discord and I can go. I'm on their Discord server constantly. I mean, obviously I'm a CC, so I'm in the CC channels. I'm always there.
Yeah,
do you have to log out and log back in?
I guess so, but that would.
But how do you log? I don't even know how you log out of a Discord server, to be honest. I mean,
well, you can remove Discord servers from your. You get on the left hand side of your menu.
Right. So do you remove it and then add it again?
Yeah. Delete it, and then you have to either go through the process to add it or get somebody to send you an invite. Isn't that fun?
Right. So, I mean, if you want to go through that rigmarole. And then down here for the raffle, you click on that one, and then you got to go through a questionnaire. By the way, did you see the animal questionnaire?
No.
Seriously? Did anybody get the freaking pet survey?
No.
I'm waiting for a chat. No, you didn't get a pet survey? Was I getting trolled?
No, so Cliffy saw it on the forums.
I got it in game, guys. It came up.
Wow.
No. It's the FBI. They're after Mocha.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll tell you, it was bizarre. It's like, do you have a pet? What kind of pet? You know what they call birds? What's that? What's the technical word for bird? Budge.
What, birds?
Yeah.
Bravery?
No. Budgeriges or something.
Budgerigars?
Yes.
Budgerigars? Them?
Are birds.
Yeah. Budgerigars.
Is that a specific bird?
No, it's a class of bird, isn't it? Budgerigars. It's them little green, blue with the speckly faces with the little about this big. People keep them in cages. Budgies. As opposed to budgie smugglers. But budgerigars.
Okay, so that's the word they used.
No.
Yes. So
I asked you if you had budgerigars.
Yes. It was in the list. It was like dog, cat, lizard, spider, moose.
And then budgerigars. Well,
alligator,
a parrot.
crocodile, budgerigar.
Right. Well, a parrot is a big budger. A budgerigar is a small parrot. It's not a parrot, but it looks like a small parrot. So it's
Parakeet.
Pardon?
We call them parakeets.
What, small parrots?
Yeah, parakeet.
Right. Well, even smaller than a parakeet. It's a budgerigar. Google it. Oh dear. I'm doing this Battle Pass season survey now. I'm clicking it. Disclaimers. How to participate. Next.
So just around midnight, got one. All right, I should have recorded it. It was the weirdest survey yet in a series of weird surveys. It was the weirdest one yet. They even asked my dog's age. I just went along with. Usually, when it gets that stupid, I just click out of it. I was just laughing. I'm like, whatever. This is all harmless. I mean, I don't know. Where were we?
Well, yeah. Well, it's like when they ask you, why would they ask you your dog's age? I can't get it.
They ask my age all the time. They might as well ask the dog's age.
They always ask my age. Yeah.
I should have put 55 or something on there. Run off the server by rubber banding. Figure out my password. I only use password 123.
I use password. Nobody will ever think of that.
Anywho, what were we doing? Oh, so if you want to have a chance at a Basante, 7501, Lanson, all these other doodads, chuck in, just go to that questionnaire and go through it. They're going to ask you for your SPA ID, your account ID. You can find that if you go to your, Go to your World of Tanks account right here. Yeah. I'm not going to go there because I don't want to show you guys that, but it's a series of numbers that's up in the URL for your name.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, whatever. They're going to do a raffle and it's a chance to get something. So, I chucked that out for consideration.
I've just joined the World of Tanks Discord.
Oh, good. Now you're in the running.
I'm in the running now. I've never been there before, but I've joined it now. There you go. You've got to click on the English thing to get English, haven't you? Otherwise, it's all in weird languages. Anyway.
Cliffy, that is a level of security that most people don't achieve. Adding the 4. That is absolute.
That is
brilliance.
Beyond the pale. That is
brilliant.
Proper outside the box thinking.
That is proper.
Thought of that?
It's proper. Speaking of proper, how about Wrexham, huh?
Yeah, didn't they do well? They got promoted. Yeah, absolutely.
It's like a real life. What's the
event?
No, the show with the American football coach that comes over.
Yeah. It's like a real life reality show, isn't it?
Yeah. What's that show called?
Reality
Ted
TV.
Lasso. It's like a real life Ted Lasso. Only it's
cool. Yeah.
Only it's a movie star, whatever the hell his name is.
I can't remember.
Ryan,
isn't it?
Ryan Seacrest.
That's it.
Ryan Gosling. Ryan.
You know your movie stars as much as I do, mate.
Ryan Reynolds. That's
him.
the guy.
Ryan Reynolds. That's him. To be fair to him, for a colonial, he's embraced soccer like nobody else has.
Do you know why?
North America.
Do you know why?
Because he can't play American football.
Because he was on a movie set a couple years back and got kicked in the head by a horse.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah, and he hasn't been right ever since.
He's now an Anglophile. Because he got kicked in the head by a horse. Cool.
50 years.
McInerney doesn't get any love because he's Scottish.
50 years.
Yeah.
All comes down to one goal kicked into the top right corner.
Yeah. Yeah, it all comes down to that, mate. That's what it comes down to. The investment.
If you look at excitement, the excitement to boredom, that is like I don't know. If you do the math, it's probably like, it was 50-year run. So of that time of boredom, 49 years, 364 days of boredom,
Yeah.
and one day of excitement, which basically sums up soccer.
Well, to be honest, that sums up my sex life as well. So, 49 years of absolute boredom, and then one very exciting minute.
One top right corner strike.
Yes, exactly that. Made my life.
And it's over.
Yep. Another 40 years to go.
Yeah, but you've been promoted.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that just means you're not going to get any more scores.
Well, no, what will happen? Yeah, exactly that.
Competition's harder.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, you get promoted, and then you get a load of money from the Football Association to improve your facilities. So you spend all that money. Yeah,
Okay,
and then
all right.
you get yourself some better players, and then you go out and play the game and get absolutely trounced by everybody in the league above you, and you get knocked back down the next season. That's how it works.
Can you literally get relegated the next year?
Yeah. 12 months down the line, you can, if you don't, there's a cut-off. The bottom 3 clubs of each league get dropped. The top 3 clubs of each league go up until obviously you get to the Premier League.
Is it so? Is it a case that the same teams are always going back and forth?
Pretty much.
Yeah. So you fully expect Wrexham to get dropped?
Yeah, absolutely.
Really?
Depends what they do. If Mr. Ryan invests some more money and they buy some better players, not that they haven't got good players because they've been promoted, but they buy players that are used to playing at a higher level, then they may scrape and stay above the bottom 3. But it's very rare that happens because there's no money. The trouble is the Premier League has taken all the money. I get on my high horse about this, mate. The Premier League have got literally billions of dollars invested into the Premier League. None of it filters down, or very little of it filters down.
So what league are they in? What's it called that they're in?
What, the Premier League? Oh, the league that they're in.
Yeah, what were they in? The second league?
Wrexham. I want to say third. I can't remember actually.
Oh, so they're not in the top league. They just went one up.
No, they've gone the next one up. But
Oh.
if they don't get investment, it's hard for them to stay up because they're playing against a different level of players. Because as you go up the leagues, the more obviously better players you get.
Yeah.
And that's why the Premier League are full of.
So what are the league? What are the leagues called? Premier?
Yeah, you got Premier League.
Somewhat
you've got League
somewhat
One,
Premier.
League Two.
Oh, League 1, League 2. Oh, that's clever.
2, and then but below that you've got all the local leagues. So you go down to League 3. I want to say 3. I think it might be going. No, it goes down to 3. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1 Premier. Yeah, and then below that you've got all the locals. So you've got Southern leagues all in the round. Then you've got Northern leagues. You've got the Anglian leagues, and you've got this. All the different parts of the country, and they all feed into this. Then the one tier.
So is it a case? Is it a case of all the leagues in England actually feed into the one league, or are there competing? There are some independent competing leagues.
Yeah,
Okay.
but they're at a very low level. So you get amateur league. So you'll get school leagues and stuff.
Okay.
like
Okay.
that.
But the pro system is it. That's it. That's one pro
That's it.
system.
Yeah.
One pro system to rule them all.
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay.
5 rings.
I think you need better names for the leagues under Premier. I think 1, 2, 3 is just really kind of you just mailed that in. That's not good.
No, that's a password. Isn't
How
it?
about double diamond, gold, tarnished gold, silvery bronze
Slightly
level?
off colour. We should be sponsored like you lot.
Aluminium.
We could
Aluminium.
League.
One of them has to be aluminium.
Yes, aluminium, not aluminum, but aluminium.
Oh,
Aluminium league.
no, I like your idea. Sponsored leagues. The top would be
They need to sponsor them. Yeah.
top would be PG Tips League. No, what's the Queen's favorite? That'd have to be the Queen's favorite.
Well, I don't know what her favourite is because she's dead, but I think the King's favourite. The King's favourite. Who's getting coronated next weekend?
Nobody cares about him.
No, I know, but he's cocking my weekend up. I mean, it's a bloody nightmare, bloody thing, Charles. You know what I mean? I'm trying to move house, and nobody wants to help me move house because they're all, no, we got a long weekend because the king's getting the crown stuck on his head. For crying out loud. No respect, Charles. No respect.
You don't vote
Come
for
on.
kings.
Don't vote for a king, do you?
No.
Who voted for you? You don't vote
Don't
for
vote.
kings. They rule by divine right.
Watery tarts distributing swords is no basis for a government. All right.
Yeah.
What were we doing?
I have no idea, you know.
I'll tell you what we were doing. We were doing a lot of yelling. That's what we were doing.
Yeah, we were doing a lot of clouds, weren't we?
Okay. Oh, we were still shilling. That's what we're doing.
Ooh.
Mouse challenge, Discord raffle, birthday candles available, crew is crucial, Rhinoceronte Action X. I think that was it, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Onslaught. Yeah, we done. Yeah.
Whew. That was lively. Hey,
It was, wasn't it?
we have good
Yeah.
subjects du jour, man, because we're going to talk about the cancellation of the Wattpocalypse, the possible re-energizing of the Wattpocalypse, destroying the game, and we have some interesting vidges from Wargaming that came out. There's a story behind that. I'm not actually sure if I'm able to talk about that, but anyway, 5-minute break while I go refresh me coffee.
Yeah.
5 minutes, and we'll be right back.
Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Now in the shadows came a mysterious chap who spoke in a tongue with strange dialect. He offered his help to the mighty Guido to bring some laughter to his love of speedos. To the coffee talk they both came to bring the message of winning ways to all and sundry and the masses. Yes, that's right, lads and lasses. The damage counts and flexing back will keep you on the right track. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. So in what, if you want to progress, then seek out Guido nonetheless. With his sidekick Pilgrim, he has a message that to win you must be aggressive. The position and place that you must seek for the winners only, not the weak. The guru speaks, so listen well. His voice rings out like the Liberty Bell to bring you all to Unicom land, or to die hard trying in the sand. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. To the swamplands came the mountain man to teach his wisdom and pay his due.
All right, fellas, we are back. We are back, and we are going to go on to subjects du jour. So, I'll tell you what, the allergies are kicking my ass right now.
It's that time of year now,
Oh.
isn't it?
It's been that time of year for months here, but for whatever reason, it's just kicked in bad. See you, old brute, man. Have a good one. Thank you, Cryo Tank. Good morning to you, you handsome devil.
Yeah. Good morning.
All right, so I don't know if you know this, Pilgrim, but apparently Wargaming was planning on a big update.
Really?
They were.
That's the first I've heard of it.
Yeah, it was called 1.20.1, and it was going to be large.
Was it? Was it going to be as bigger than 1.2.0?
Yeah, so bizarrely they named it 1.20.1 instead of like 1.3 or 2.0 or I don't know.
Yes.
So, also, I don't know if you know this, but there was some controversy involved.
Do you know what? I heard this. I heard this on the grapevine, but it was just, it went over my head. I didn't, somebody was making some noise about something.
There was a kerfuffle.
A kerfuffle. That's why I missed it.
A ruffling of the feathers, a Jimmy Russell, to use a meme from about 8 years ago or so. Jimmys were rustled.
Right.
Yep.
Well, then that's interesting because I know my kerfuffle radar's packed because I'm moving, so that's probably why I missed
You
it.
probably missed it because you didn't have the proper equipment to measure. No. But it's been canceled.
All right. Okay.
Well, at least the Jimmy rustling part. The Jimmy rustling part has been
So
canceled.
the Jimmy Rustling part's cancelled.
Let me ask you this.
However-
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
In all seriousness. So one of the big controversies was that you could move equipment for free.
Yeah.
Okay. You paid for Watt Plus. Let's discuss Watt Plus for a second. You paid for Watt Plus and you moved your equipment for free to include improved equipment,
Yeah.
which was a primary Jimmy rustling event in the 1.3 or 1.20.1.
Right.
A lot of angry about what an advantage and depending on who you talk to, it was either an advantage for good players or an advantage for bad players,
Yes.
depending on who you
Which
talk to.
slightly confused me that because
Oh, it was somehow also to and in addition to.
because there was a lot of noise by certain people about how it advantaged good players. But I'm thinking then, well, are you fighting for the proletariat here? Are you fighting for the downtrodden and the masses?
You mean the good
No,
players?
what
You
you
mean the good
want.
players that already have 5 to 10 tanks with purple equipment on it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also,
Exactly.
too, and in addition to, my question then becomes, because at least from what I've read, it seems like you're still going to be able to move regular equipment and bounty equipment. And I wondered to myself, I said to myself, Pilgrim, I said, Self, what exactly is the difference between being able to move, in terms of claiming advantage or white knighting to stop too much advantage, whatever the hell your position is, pick one.
Yes. Yeah.
What exactly is the difference between improved equipment and bounty equipment in terms of the logic of that argument? Now, I understand that there's a slight percentage difference. Clearly, the improved equipment stuff is better, but bounty is better than regular equipment. And so, presumably, if you were super angry about improved equipment being moved and creating some kind of crazy advantage, you should also be super angry about being able to move bounty equipment because it's going to create such an advantage.
Of course it will, because there's a percentage advantage. And then you can add on top of that, those long-time players who have amassed 3 or 4 million XP can do all the field mods they want and all the silver. They can do all the field mods they want, which then gives them an advantage over the new players as well. So you can white knight everything that Wargaming's got going.
Yes, that all needs to be. We all need to drive a 1 hit point tank that does 1 hit point of damage, that has
Yes.
1 millimeter of armor and goes 1 kilometer an hour.
And do you know what that gives us? Skill-based. Skill-based. It'll be based on how skilled you are to survive, as opposed to how many hit points and special equipment you've got.
So, I mean, honestly, if that was your position, and Cliffy brings up the pay for play or the pay to win or whatever you want to call it, which is another issue. But presumably, though, and I'm not making a comment on whether it is or is not an advantage. What I'm making a comment on is the logic train is that you could move improved equipment for free, and that was bad because people could pay for that. But okay, great, they moved the improved equipment. Now people can pay for the bounty equipment to be moved. Is that not exactly the same logical argument?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. For me, it is. Yeah. But
If not, why?
yeah.
Right? This is where we'll get into rationalizations, and we'll get into relative discussions of relative advantages and things like that. Now, that being said, fellas, I don't even know if the movement equipment's going to last or be in Watt Plus, because they didn't really spell out exactly. They said they were taking the movement of improved equipment out of it. The assumption for me is they left the others, but I don't know. I haven't seen a new list of, all right, here's what Watt Plus is going to do. Or if they're even going to do Watt Plus. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe. Well, that's a decision they're going to take, isn't it? For now, all we know that they've put it on pause to, as in their words, there was a few challenges to be met.
Yeah. I don't actually buy that argument, Bonzi. I mean, I suppose that gets into a bit of a relative discussion of relative ease, but all you have to do is get to tier 10 and grind out some tier 10s. And yes, if you're not very good, it might take you a while to build up the bonds, but you'll build the bonds up. And then there's a lot of events that you can get bonds for and not be particularly good. You just have to do it. So over time, anybody can get bonds. You're getting a little feedback again there, Pilgrim.
Oh, sorry, turn it down again.
So I don't know. It's weird. It's weird to me.
There's some good points. I mean, it doesn't take. If you're a new player, bonds seem to be difficult to get because you need to be at tier 10 to get them for just playing the game.
Right.
Without getting them as rewards and things like that. So it does seem difficult to get bonds, but as you get further on, bonds aren't that difficult to get. And like Gator said, you don't need a lot of bonds to be able to put enough equipment on your tanks.
And again, I'm not necessarily here making a comment on whether the thing was good or bad for the game. What would be my opinion on that? My opinion on that would be, I don't think they thought it through well enough in terms of secondary and tertiary. There are a couple guys in here who actually sold a bunch of equipment. Cliffy, was that you? Who said they did that? Diablo, maybe? Somebody sold a bunch of, and I think a lot of people did that.
Last week, I think somebody said that, didn't they? They'd sold everything in
right.
anticipation.
Now, the fact is, if it comes out with regular equipment and bounty equipment moving for free, you can still sell a bunch of your equipment. It wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
Now
you can just move your purple equipment.
You can move your regular equipment for free. If it gives you regular free equipment, freedom movement, you only need a certain amount of each kind, and you can just move it for free.
Just move it around. Yeah.
So,
right. See, I struggle with that concept purely because I'm not in the game of because most of my tanks are set up the way they're set up. I will just change occasionally something on them. So, am I going to be invested enough to go, before I start every battle, I need to draw the equipment from that tank, put it into that tank to carry on with it? Yes, if it's as easy as doing consumables, click, 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 done. You know, you don't want all this faff of, like...
No, you're right. I'm with you. There is definitely a situation where people would, like, screw it. I don't want to... why faff around? Let me just go... Let me go back to what Bonzi said, because I actually misunderstood what he said, and Cliffy's exactly right. So I'm with you, Bonzi. I got it. Sorry, man. I didn't read that correctly. But I think you're 100% right on that. Bond equipment, to some extent, is more readily available, actually. I would say they're about the same. They're you get them differently, but they both require time. I wonder. Well, I have more bound. No, I was going to say I have more bounty equipment, but that's only because I haven't spent the bonds to get bond equipment. I could probably have about the same amount right now, so I would say they're pretty close. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is it easier to get bond or bounty? I don't know.
For me personally, it's bonds, because I accrue bonds by playing, and I just use it to buy the equipment. I don't have to faff around. I mean, bounty.
So Wayne says it's harder to get bonds. I'm on 18. Wait, what? 18 million. 18 million bonds? Are you kidding me?
some to me.
Cliffy, are you serious? You have 18 million bonds? Okay. I was like, wow.
Well, Blues makes a good. This is the point I was making. What
He
Blues
probably has a lot, though.
Yeah.
There you go. Help me, help me. He's got 67. That I believe. I mean, I know there's people out there with hundreds of thousands of bonds.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Pilgrim.
No, what Blues is saying is there. If they're going to introduce this moving equipment around, they have to. In my opinion, they would have to introduce a quicker, easier click to move the equipment for me to even consider doing it. And it's like what Blues is saying. There used to be a mod that moved camo nets and binders around, so you only needed one of each.
Well, there would be a
That's
mod.
the sort-
Yeah, there would be a mod pretty immediately, I think, Pilgrim.
You'd have to have that because
But-
what a pain in the arse that would be.
But would
Have to
Wargaming?
scroll through your-
But would Wargaming put something in vanilla to allow that?
Probably not, but
Yeah.
that would be the way forward with it, wouldn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think they didn't think about that very well. The idea that people would just because they always try to manage their economy. So you do that, and then people are incentivized to sell tons of equipment. And just all of a sudden now you have a credit problem. You already had a credit problem in your game. You have a hard time getting rid of them, having players use them, especially end game players. So I just think it was not well thought out. I think they just did not. They missed that piece. And to some extent, I bet they're a little bit happy that there was pushback to some extent, because now they can kind of go, oops, let's not do that, because that was going to screw up multiple things for us.
Yeah. And even now, if they introduce the free movement of equipment,
That's why I'm curious, man. Do you think they're still going to do it?
well, yes, I think it's somebody's. I think it's somebody's little project, and I think it'll be massaged into it somehow. Where, I don't know. I don't know how they would do that. Where it would be impractical to sell all your regular equipment.
They have a problem, though, because that was the largest draw, I think, for established players. So now Watt Plus doesn't really have the same draw that it did. So now who's going to do it? Well, okay, you get the tank, and there's a couple. You get to ban a map. That's actually something people have talked a lot about. I would pay to ban another map. Well, we're about to find out if Watt Plus comes out. We'll see.
Yeah.
Right, Bonzi. Agreed. That may be, Cliffy. That's true. I'm very curious what the math is on that. Actually, one of you guys did that, right? We came up with, 150, 200 games a month to do it? That's quite a bit.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah. So, I don't know, man. So, very interesting. We're going to have to see. I think there's an article on that. Let's see.
But I think
There we go.
the idea is still alive within war games.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't think that's going to go away. It's how they actually present it to the player base.
So I did a video on this. You guys can go back and check that out on the YouTube channel. That's basically saying, hey, okay, what now is what I said. And I went over this article right here quite a bit on that. So I won't dig too deep into this, but basically it's excluded improved equipment, also experimental equipment, which I had mentioned in that video. Where the hell did that go?
Yeah.
Is experimental equipment now basically the Hall of Fame? They toss it in the game and it's just going to sit there languishing.
Yeah.
We've had no events.
Beta.
We've had no events to get pieces for it. We've had no events to get another piece of it. There's no mention of it. It's like it's just gone down the memory hole.
Yeah. And every time we see it, every time we look at equipment, we see that little, and you think, well,
Yeah.
you see that, the little icon to do it. It's nothing.
Oh, Bandu, that's a great question. Yeah, I don't know. That's another thing you could add in there. Hall of experimental equipment. No, Cliffy, I think that's what I thought when they started talking about
No,
it.
it was the UI. It was the
Yeah, it was just the
WinRAR.
server. Well, I don't know if it's maybe included with this because that's where it lives, but it was service record redoing. I don't know if they actually said anything. I'm going to look at the video and we'll see. But it was definitely this. Well, you can't see it because it was definitely this part they were talking about. Whether it got over here, I don't know. I didn't see anything on Hall of Fame that I remember, but I could be wrong.
Well, I've just watched it this morning, and it didn't mention anything about
Yeah.
the Hall of Fame. All it talked about is that players would be able to show off their achievements because they could swap round the badges underneath. Wow.
Swapping medals.
You know,
Look, man,
swapping
I'm gonna do
badges.
I'm gonna do a whole video on service record builds.
Yes.
The
Yes.
best. What's the
And
best?
you can swap the medals round for free. You don't have to use anything to pay for it to move.
I'm surprised they
If
don't.
you've got one plus
I'm surprised they don't charge you 500 gold for each medal move.
for each medal move.
All right, so right now they're free, which is a great deal, and I'm going to do a total video on service record builds. What's the best service record build? So when somebody looks at your service record, they know you're the man.
Yeah, you're the best player going.
Yeah.
How are you going to massage that? You're going to put all your pools medals at the front. Look,
We're
run
gonna
off.
get to that video. I think there's a very significant, deeper meaning to something they're doing in that.
Yes.
But we'll talk about that when we get there, because I found it very interesting what they're doing, and I think they're setting something up. All right, that's my conspiracy theory. The crew perk thing. Let's get through this first. The crew perk thing. That was the other part of the stuff that was going to destroy the game. There were certainly problems with it, stacking problems with skills and some other crazy stuff they put in there. My thought on it was, all right, let's release it and you can continue to work on it. But they basically just stepped back from the edge on this one, and they're not doing anything. They're just going to do the quality of life stuff, some of which I think is fine. Unifying perks and skills into perks that work from the start, and they should have put in here like skills used to.
Yeah.
Is it weird? Whatever. Okay, fine. They're gonna be called perks. They're gonna work from 1% up. So it's the graduated thing, like some of the stuff does now, but there won't be any of this. You have to have it at 100% for it to work. That's fine by me. I got no problem with that. A couple things in here will work. I think all of them actually. All of them will work from 1%. There was something in here. Anyway, I'll think of it in a minute. Removing experience penalties for injured crew members. All right, that's good. That was a weird thing to have anyway. Battle interface for situational perks. I do like that, to know when your other perks are working. I would also like to see the equipment always kind of showed, but
Yeah, because that goes away once you enter battle, doesn't it?
yeah, and maybe that's not a big deal, but sometimes I forget.
Yeah.
And maybe it doesn't really matter, I guess, but at the end that would be kind of cool. Providing clear descriptions of perks and their effects. What a novel idea. That would seem like it seemed like that was something you should just have anyway, but I don't know.
Maybe.
I like that they're actually saying that. Displaying the effects of all perks in the vehicle characteristics widget. I do like that, so that when you come over here and you're looking at stuff, you get all the information, over here on this thing. That's good.
Yeah. No, that'd be cool.
So, bit of a mixed bag. There's some good stuff coming. There's still the Japanese TDs are still coming, so get ready for that. Yes, only one crew member needs brother in arms. That was it. That was the one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
That's not exactly true. He will. So if there's 4, if he gets to 100%, you got 25% of what you can get out of brothers in arms.
Yeah.
So they all need it if you want the full effect. That's my understanding.
Yeah, that's right, but they all will be in effect after 1%.
Well, 4 tankers and a dog said that. That's not my understanding. My understanding is, yes, one crew member. Yes, you will get an advantage out of one crew member having it, but they've all got to have it to get 100%. How would you say that? To get the total benefit, all 4 have to have it and be up to 100%. Is my understanding. So if one,
the way I read that, the Brothers in Arms perk will start taking effect at 1%, even if only one crew member is trained in it. So you've got one crew member that is 100%. And as long as the other 3 have gone past the 1% mark, it'll be effective.
No, what I think. So I think if you got 4 crew, All right, and only one guy has 100% on Brothers in Arms. I think you're only getting 25% of the totality of what you could get out of Brothers in Arms.
Okay.
And then everything else is, from there. So if
I
they
don't know
were,
why they make it so complicated.
well, I mean, the point is you can train one guy on it and you're getting a benefit.
yeah.
You're getting a benefit, and
Yeah.
he can get up to 100% for him, which is only 25% of the total crew because he's one of 4 crew. So you have to have all 4 crew at 100% to get the full 100%
The full 100%. Okay.
Brothers in Arms. That's my understanding.
All right.
There's only a couple skills. Only one I can think of. The loader skill. And I actually found this out on stream. The one that stops you from blowing up ammo rack.
Ammo rack, yeah.
The ammo rack thing. You only need one guy to have that. Say you have 2 loaders. You only need one guy. But if you have the intuition skill,
You need both.
so the intuition skill actually works like the Brothers in Arms is going to work. If you have one guy at 100%, you have 2 loaders, but only one has intuition and he's 100%, you have 50% of the intuition capability that crew could have. So then you got to train the other guy. But that's not for all skills because the stupid ammo rack one doesn't work that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
True.
Right.
Wayne's, he's like, perks, dang it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cliffy's checked the BI.
Yeah, so that's what I thought. So that's exactly how it should work. Intuition stack. I don't know. No, because the 2, you have to have both guys in a 2 loader crew at 100% to get the 100%. If you only had one guy, you'd only have 50% of the total intuition capability of that crew.
And there's not that many tanks that have got 2 loaders anyway.
No,
So
no.
Like the big Germans do and all the rest
Right.
of it.
Yep.
So.
That's a good point. There's only a few that do that.
Yeah.
All right, so we are going to get some of that stuff in there, and that's what's going on with the new crew system and the Wattpocalypse. So I would say it's basically on pause. Very interesting how that went down with everybody. It was fairly hysterical, but on the one hand, it's fun to poke fun at it as being hysterical, and really, I think there were some over the top reactions, but people are looking for clicks, and that's part of the business. So whatever, and you know what? The fact is, a lot of people love that.
Yeah.
Right. That's why they tune into a lot of channels. They want to see they want to get angry. They like the outrage industry. That's their thing. Everybody likes a good train wreck, all that kind of thing.
Sells a YouTube video, doesn't it?
And Wargaming listened, so I'm not making a judgment on whether they should have or whether it was a good idea to listen, but they did. So results were had. What you think of the results is another question entirely.
Yeah.
But clearly results were had, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think also is that at some point Wargaming will introduce whatever they want to introduce, having taken into account all this. So I don't think any of this is going to go away anytime soon. I do think that the crew system will be revamped in some way, and Watt Plus will be introduced in some way, because it's people's pet projects, and it's about. We'll talk a little bit later about where this game is changing and what's happening to it.
The good news,
with the loan
Pilgrim.
thing and all the rest of it. Yeah.
The good news is we can go back to complaining about the crew system sucking.
Yes. Yes.
That's a win. That's a win. That's a total win.
It is a win.
Right.
We can park all that to one side and we can go back to
Now,
looking at the clouds again.
now we're mad about the crew system again.
Yes.
Excellent.
Good. Back to
That
where we
is-
were. Back to where we're comfortable.
Mr. Davey, exactly. That's what drives most of social media. That and cat videos. All right.
And cat videos, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Who on earth has cats? I don't know. Well, you've got one.
I got one.
can't
He's
do cats.
he's little a-hole. That's his nickname. Little a-hole. All right. Let's see. So Common Test 3 is up, guys. So basically they have moved on. They brought up Common Test 3. Let's take a quick look. I think basically it's just, if you look at the patch notes, it's just what we discussed. All right, all the new perks have been removed. They got rid of all the new ones. They reset the values for the old ones. You know what I would have loved to have seen?
What?
Keep some of them.
Yes. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, no, I get that.
now they're going to have to reevaluate because they got a lot of feedback and a couple of them were definitely broken. So I would have loved to have seen them put something in there, but we'll see. Firefighting's now a group perk again. All those things they talked about. None of that's been put. Obviously, we don't need retraining orders. Remember, that was the big kerfuffle initially. If you're going to do this, you're screwing us over. Blah blah blah. Monetization, yada yada yada. Well, that's not required now, guys. So obviously, if it's not changing, they don't have to do anything like that. Crucis.
See,
Yeah.
here's the right. Here's the one-liner. What Plus subscribers will not be able to demount improved equipment for free. So they're still introducing What Plus. They're going ahead with it.
That's what I get from that. Yeah.
That's what I get.
Yeah.
The only thing different is that they won't be able to demount improved equipment for free.
So if
They still want people to pay $9.
Right. So if they pull that, what do you guys think? Do they stay with $9? Do they just pull that part? Do they leave the improved or the bounty equipment in, like I was mentioning earlier? Does that change? Is there something else added to make it more to incentivize people to do it more? I'm insanely curious how they're going to go with that one.
Yeah.
And would you get Watt Plus? Would you get Watt Plus if you could move regular equipment and bounty equipment for free? What do you guys think? Would anybody get
What's
Watt Plus?
the driver to purchase it at $9 a month?
I mean, would that be enough? Yeah, you can't move improved equipment, but you can move everything else. And then the gold piece, you got the gold drip. Not till my 200 plus orders are. Yeah, I'm down to 40 something, Cliffy. I've been burning through them because of setting up tanks for the 100 battle challenge because I've gone through so many different tanks. I'm actually down to 40 something, so that's going to be interesting when I get down that low. What does it cost to move bounty? Is bounty gold?
Yeah, good point. I've never thought. Shall I try it?
I have no idea what it costs to move bounty without an order.
Let me find out where my bounty is first, and I'll try it.
Is it money? Is it silver? Bounty is also 200 bonds? Interesting. Really? Well, that's going to put a damper on my plans. That's fine. Let's try to take one of these off here. 10 gold. Bounty is gold. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Bounty is gold. Improved is 200 bonds. Interesting. Now, that being said, the gold, well, it would be free if I got Watt Plus, so I wouldn't have to worry about it. I was going to say the gold drip would pay for that, but it'd be free, provided that's how they do it.
Yeah.
So we will keep an eye on that, folks. Onslaught. Oh, good lord. Let's move on to that. I did have Onslaught on my list. Let's look at Onslaught. It's going to come up on May 3rd. And it does tie into the next thing we're going to talk about that Pilgrim has teased a couple times. Where is it? Onslaught continues. All right, here we go. So, new mechanics. Great. Season of the Griffin. Crimson Griffin.
Yes.
All right. More diverse tactics and dynamic battles.
Yeah. We know what that means.
Raise your hand if you think Onslaught's going to change in any meaningful way. I'm putting my hand down.
Yeah, there's no hand going up here, sir.
There's more hit points to farm. I'll give him that. I hope I'm wrong. I don't think I am. I don't see anything in here that's going to change the way Onslaught's played. Cap-centric battles around the cap, armor and hit points, with some outliers in certain, either really fast in terms of like a CS63 or relatively heavily armored. Sometimes a Leopard, sometimes a CS63, but scouts and thin TDs and artillery are just not going to have a place.
No. You can't make it. And again, don't forget, because it's a limited number of players, that you can't afford to have a non-participating player in a non-participating tank. So everybody's going to come in with heavies and heaviums, mediums, that sort of thing. Nothing changes.
I mean, I agree with the statement of our aim is to introduce more variety and excitement to the Onslaught gameplay. To achieve this, we've reworked vehicle roll skills. All right, guys, I'm sorry, but your vehicle roll skills are part of the problem. We'll also be testing 2 special combat modifiers during, but first things first. The cooldown time has been greatly reduced on skills. Some skills are now available from the start. Some skills have changed the principal work. So here's the deal. If the only way to do what they just said in terms of artillery and light tanks is to give the things light tanks and artillery do, and to some extent sniper TDs, an outsized amount of experience for doing those things.
Yeah.
Right? So that they then can be competitive in terms of getting experience and being at the top if they do those things. But unfortunately, that then incentivizes weird gameplay. So say you take the scout.
It changes the gameplay completely.
Right. So you take the scout class, and you give them crazy experience for spotting one guy or for some assist damage or whatever. The only way to make that more viable is to make that completely outsized from just plain old doing damage like the heavies do when they go in and punch each other in the face.
Yeah.
So I don't see anything that they've done here fixing that issue.
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing in there. What they're doing is skirting around the issue. They're fiddling with it as always with Wargame. They're fiddling with the outside pieces, bits and pieces. They're not actually doubling down into the requirement to make the mode workable and balanced.
So
useful.
I don't think it's possible. I mean, they may just need to embrace that it just doesn't. It's not possible. I mean, look at competitive gameplay, even in 15v15. Teams will bring 1 scout, an EBR, or maybe a Manicore, depending on the map.
And you get hated for bringing it in a lot of the times.
Well, in Onslaught, I'm talking about actual competitive.
Oh, in the 15-15.
Yeah, even in the 15-15 competitive, there's only 1 scout, and sometimes maybe an arty, depending on the map and the strat. So even on that side of it, they're not that useful. Never mind in Rams. And so now you got a 7v7, and it's just cap-centric damage stuff. And you give roll skill credit to heavies for punching each other in the face. You're not going to overcome it.
No. Because nobody's going to go into the game with an altruistic outlook. They're out for themselves, really.
Yeah.
They're out for what they, nobody's going to go in. I'll go in with such and such a tank because that'll help everybody else out.
Yeah. Yeah, the Polish medium. The Polish medium is another one they use, but the EBR is still, I think, widely used, and occasionally the Manicore, depending on the map. But in the CS63, so there's several ways to do it. But my point is, it's not very diverse. Other than that, right? It's 279s and chieftains and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, man. I don't think they're going to get what they want out of this. I know that, like, if you want to play Onslaught and do well, you're going to play a heavy or an armored medium or that kind of thing. Yeah.
And that's how it's come down to it. I mean, it doesn't matter what they tinker around with it. It'll be the player base that will dictate how it's going to operate.
Yeah.
Min max again.
Yeah, there you go. And Himmelsdorf is what Diablo says, and that makes sense because it has enough vision to see as far as it needs to see. Plus, you want that combat power because it's more of a super brawling map.
Absolutely.
So, absolutely. All right, so guys, it's weird. We'll see what happens with Onslaught. I'm not mad about it necessarily. I don't particularly love Onslaught, but I do like the 7v7. I like the one before where it was just. There was no BS involved. There was no power-ups.
I remember that, Remember that. No power-ups and nothing else. It was just a 7 versus 7, which was fun. Absolutely brilliant fun.
And that doesn't solve the what is it? Variety. That doesn't solve the variety problem. But I don't think it's solvable. So why bother? Why worry about it? Why create a bunch of weird power-ups and stuff to solve a problem that really isn't solvable and probably doesn't matter for your 7v7. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
If
they're going to do a 7 versus 7 type mode that is like a ranked thing, then maybe they should just say from the very beginning this is for lights, mediums, and heavies, and that's it.
See, and that's where I was getting to, and it's one thing I brought up in my video. I'm like, it doesn't just have to be 7v7 everything. You could do a light tank, light tank only. I would love to see an event where they did a 7v7 artillery only.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That would be hilarious.
Imagine that. The French artillery would have a field day, wouldn't they?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it would be fascinating to see what players came up with.
Yeah.
Plus, it would be fun as hell.
That would. Do you know what? That would be awesome. I wish we could set that up. Apart from a training room, that would be so much fun. To have 7 versus 7. We might do that. The clan do an artillery.
Look, and that's
battle or something.
And that's just one idea. All you have to do is have a little bit of imagination and stop with this. A lot of times, I feel like wargaming takes themselves way too seriously.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Somebody at that company needs to realize that they're developing a game, and to have some fun with it, with stuff you've already made. Right? Use a little imagination. Do something fun just because you can, and enough with the obsessive new game mode mechanics stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, another segue.
I'll top and tail that. The video they got out, which we're going to talk about in a minute anyway, about the I can't remember what it's called now. The pathway.
The roadmap.
Roadmap. They start the whole thing off as, I hope you're as excited as we are about the changes to the new modes we're introducing. You're like, yeah, really? No, I'm not really getting a lot of buzz out of that, thank you. So they get like super excited because they're introducing a change to a particular mode, and that mode is not particularly liked by a lot of people anyway. Well, whatever. Stop over egging. Stop over egging it.
All right, I'm going to try to be kind.
Okay.
So I'm going to be kind here. Yeah, I'll just leave that. So we have I don't remember what's her name. We've got old Michael.
Yeah, so we got Alexandra.
Alexandra.
Yeah.
More detail what we are preparing for you for the upcoming months. So in today's episode, we want to focus on a couple of upcoming features, returning at new game modes, new features in general, which we are cooking as well for you, and then last but not least, the British medium vehicles that are finding their way into our game.
Of all those things they just listed, exactly one of them has anything to do with the regular game, other than the service record thing, which is fine. I don't have a problem with them putting development time into stuff like that.
Well, here you go. For me, they're promoting all these weird and wonderful modes, which actually has nothing to do with the core of the game.
Yeah.
It's like they're trying to attract players that like that type of thing, the Call of Duty thing, the first person shooter thing, and they're not investing time or energy into the core of the game.
Yeah. Let me let's see, how do I need to put this through how do I do this? I thought it was properties, because all they did was hear it through my mic, but I wanted it to actually play. Capture method. No, that's not it. Huh. How do I do that? I guess I got to do that down here. I got to push all this sound through sound settings. I'm going to have to push everything through my ear holes. All right.
Sorry.
Headphones, there we go. Let's hold it. No! Stupid Windows, what are you doing? Stop it. Headphones. There we go. Now, does this work?
Later this.
All right. You guys better hear it now. All right. I got it sorted. Technical difficulties. We've made it happen. Thank you for helping me out, Pilgrim. That was perfect.
Oh, yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about.
All right. So,
Here. I hope you're equally excited about the details that Alexandra were not able to share. Enjoy the show and see you later.
So, needle pulling thread.
we had some code. Code. First thing up, fellas.
Gamers, my name is Alexandra Lehenchenko and I am a senior game designer at World of Tanks. Performing a design owner role, my team and I help to develop various features such as metagame systems and in-game events.
Just read that. My thoughts exactly.
My favorite part is where she's looking at. All right. Sorry, Alexandra. I'm gonna be. It's a little funny. All right. She's looking at the one camera, and then she gives the side eye to the other camera.
Yeah. Because
All right.
she's reading the script, and of course nobody's going, that camera.
They're trying.
Yes, they are trying.
So that's all I'm going to say about the video. It was a little bit ungainly, a little not stunted. What's the word I'm looking for? It was a little bit
Scripted.
stiff.
Yeah.
Stiff, right? It's a little bit stiff.
Yeah.
That being said, she talks about, they're working on stuff. All right, let's go over here because the first thing we talk about here is
Players will now be offered the option to pick between 2 random reserves while playing Frontline, allowing players to potentially pick the same reserve twice.
does that mean reserves aren't tied to class anymore?
Increasing its effect.
This is
All abilities will level up equally
this is
and
Frontline, isn't
consist
it?
of
Yeah, but it said you'll have the ability to choose between 2 random ones.
Oh,
So-
you can add a fourth one to it.
Bonzi.
So you can-
Bonzi is like effing up front lines.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
you could potentially
So you can have two. You can have two aircraft bombardments where you could only have one before.
Well, I know, but is
You have one of each.
it still tied to class?
Oh, good point. Is it? Yeah. Or is it any tank can do it? Because normally your smoke screen is your lights, your extra artillery is your heavies, and so.
Well, I know it changed last time, so I don't know if it still was even attached to class last time. I didn't play it. I haven't played it for the last 2 iterations, so to be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure. But now apparently you pick. Cliffy, that's a good point, and I'm not scoffing the language because I don't speak anything but English, so she's doing really well for that. It's very stiff. Anyway.
3
Yeah, it's
standard
scripted, mate.
tiers.
She's sticking to the
Using
script.
Already familiar reserve tokens. You can also buy an additional level, allowing you to achieve tier 4.
How can you buy an additional level? What?
Twice, increasing its effect. All abilities will level up equally.
Level up,
and
okay.
Consist of 3 standard tiers.
3 standard.
Using the already familiar reserve tokens.
Oh, it's okay.
You can also buy an
Tokens,
additional
using the
level,
tokens.
allowing
Okay, so you can buy an additional level with the reserve tokens.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can go. It goes to 11 now.
Right.
It used to go to 10. Now it goes to 11 or 4. Now there's 4 levels. Because
Now there's 4 levels.
Yeah. So that's if 3 is good, 4 is way better.
Of course it is. It's like the
Yeah.
password thing.
Yeah.
You know this.
What? That's right. That's a fact. That's a fact. We now have stepped our level of frontline security up from password 123 to 1234. A level of security and gameplay we have never seen.
Never seen before.
Never seen.
It is definitely Defense Department level security.
Absolutely uncrackable unless you have a camera
Yeah.
and just walk into the skiff and take a picture of it.
Blues, there's no such thing as level 5. No such thing. No, that's unheard of, never heard of. Can't
Well, that's where the keys come in, my friend. One day.
One day. Possible.
One day. Bud Light, thanks for the sub, my friend. How you doing? 5 is right out.
Cut out.
Thou shalt count to 3. Thou shalt not
The holy
count.
hand grenade of Antioch.
Thou shalt not stop at 2. Thou shalt not count to 4. And 5 is right out. All right, so we can go to level 4. Excellent. Love it.
Tier 4 for
I
your
love all this Bud
reserves.
Light stuff, but we won't go there.
No.
Another game mode you
Steel Hunter Reborn.
Yes, Reborn. I'm so mediocrely excited.
Did it need to be born to begin with? Actually, I think we have some people who like Steel Hunter. What do you guys think? I know we have some Steel Hunter fans in here. A couple of you guys have mentioned it. Do you like the respawn thing? Because you're getting it.
see is Steel Hunter Reborn, which will have a few key differences from the
You
classic
can see the
game
dust
mode.
devils rolling across
We
the...
will introduce a respawn ability for the
Tumbleweed
first few
stoic
minutes
example.
of the game. It can also be found in blue supply drops, allowing players to re-enter the
Yes.
match if
And
they
the
are
collab
destroyed
with
during the initial stages
Monty
of
Python would
battle.
be awesome. I'd pay for that.
That's right. The Tank of Antioch.
Yes. Loving grenades everywhere. That'd be cool.
$500 maybe. Oh, it's all good, man. It's all good. Run away. Okay, so I don't know.
And if you are playing in a platoon, you will even be able to
I think the
revive
Steel
your
Hunter-
platoon mate if you haven't been in combat recently.
I liked it when it first came out. It was a different mode. It was quite similar to Pubbies, you know, the normal core of the game. There wasn't too much in the way of silliness going on, but it's just encroached and moved itself into the kerfuffle area of World of Tanks now. With all this, it's just it was a distraction. Now it's a non-entity.
Yeah. Does this mean that Steel Hunter not reborn is gone?
That is a good question. It's been well presented and deserves an answer.
I mean, one has to assume that the old version of it's gone. That seems to be the way of it, right? As they do these
Yeah.
iterations, whatever the old one was just goes away and dies. So I guess
Can I just give you the pointer that shows how important they apply to each one of these modes by looking at the segmented bar at the bottom?
yeah,
Steel
they spend a
Hunter-
lot of time on this one.
a lot of time,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Basically, respawns
We will also be introducing AI enemies to Steel Hunter.
AI enemies.
Called Marauders.
Marauders.
Face off against these new opponents and destroy them to gain more supply drops and
Incorporating the
experience.
old Waffentrager
Marauders
stuff
may
into the
seem
game,
familiar.
into that mode.
So basically, incentivizing hunting down the bots and getting all the goodies and ignoring each other until the bots are gone.
Yep.
Okay.
To many of you,
Got it.
especially if you played previous game modes such as Murny
There you go.
13.
We know how it works
There will
now.
be 3 different types of Marauders. The Wolf.
The
Will
wolf.
stalk you from a distance and try to cause damage from range.
Oh, Luger hands. That could be a
The
point.
Bear, which will immediately
That could be a point. I
start
feel like
following
Steel
you
Hunter is a
as
test for a
soon
new
as you
wargaming
enter its
mobile game.
proximity, but disengages when you
Could be.
distance yourself.
To be fair to Wargaming, put it this way: if they want to branch out and create a branch of World of Tanks that is really attractive to that type of player, the young, you know, whatever it is, the thing not like me, old and bold, I'm fine. You know, you just go ahead, but put the same amount of effort into the core game. Put the same amount of development into the core game. Develop all your new modes. Attract all the new young players or even new old players who like that type of gameplay, but keep the focus also on the core game, and give us things like balanced maps, bigger maps, balanced tanks, without all the power ups and all the faff.
But this one goes to 11.
The Rabbit,
Right then.
which will try to run from you as soon
I'll
as
do
you
that.
spot them.
So
The rabbit's gonna run. Look at him trying to get away. He's like, ah!
Also, we will be looking at adjusting the gameplay by reducing the number of players to 15 in solo matches.
How many were there before in solo matches? She says 15. What? Smell the glove. How much blacker can it be? None. None black. All right. It's a fine line between creativity and stupidity.
Yes. And very few people.
Yeah, because I actually turned Pilgrim down. Sorry. He's actually on the same audio channel. I'll turn it up, but the video was really loud. All right.
Yeah.
How many?
Bleeding into that as well.
50? There were 50 players in a...
Really?
There wasn't 50 players in a Steel Hunter. All right, I don't know.
All
No.
of this should reduce
No.
the odds of the early engagement, give players opportunity to level up, and stand a better chance in the game later.
I find that fascinating. That is simply not true. It doesn't matter what mechanics you build into it. If you suck, you don't stand a better chance just because somebody built new game mechanics.
Exactly.
Now, you might feel that way if you got to respawn. Ooh, I still have a chance. And if you're good and you get unlucky, then you might get back into it and then do well. But the idea that the new mechanics are automatically somehow going to give someone who's bad at it a better chance.
A better chance, or even another second chance. Yeah, exactly. There you go. Diablo says it. He gets to farm baddies and bots. There you go. Yeah.
I don't know. I understand why game developers say these kinds of things. That's what gamers want to hear. So it fits their mindset, because the only reason that I don't do good in Steel Hunter is that the game mechanics do not suit me correctly.
There you go. That's for me as well.
If only there wasn't so much rigging, I would be awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
I quite enjoy being the strong man at the bottom holding the rest of the player base up.
That's how you get stronger, though. You got to work out.
That's it.
You got to lift up the
There you go. Exactly. There you are.
Some would
Holding all them purples up.
Some would say they're crushing me, but I'm actually holding them up.
Yeah, I'm holding them up. Yeah, I'm Atlas.
All right.
Now, let's talk about the return of the event that many of you asked about.
Ooh, I want to mention something right here. So, and I love you guys, Wargaming, but I do want to say this to be honest and to give the other side. I went to the YouTube channel. The vast majority of comments are very positive about all this. So clearly there's an audience for all of these modes and things. People are excited about it and stuff like that. So I just want to give both sides of that view. I am not excited about the modes. I could not give less. However you say it, I don't care.
Yeah.
None of them except occasionally Frontline, and I still haven't even played Frontline for the last 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
Do nothing for me. They just don't. That doesn't mean that I am in the majority in any way. Probably not.
Yeah.
But and I think there's some people watching right now who agree with me, and there's some people who disagree with me or like one of the events or a couple of them. You know what I'm saying? So hey, man, to each their own. I just want to check that out. We will get to.
I'm like you. Frontline, I enjoy Frontline, and actually I play a lot of Frontline on EU purely because that gets me the silver to keep playing without having to pay. Because my EU account is free to play.
But
I enjoy that.
We'll get to why I think this is to me at least a little bit irritating in just a bit here.
13 that will return later this year, concluding the story of a mystical town and anomaly that occurred there.
We have been hard at work polishing Murny 13 to improve this mode, which players are already familiar with. We have been adjusting the gameplay, adding more abilities and anomalies, giving you more control and options over the benefit.
Wait. Game design, man, I love it. They've added more powers and anomalies which is somehow going to give you more control. No. No. The more random shit you throw in there, the less control.
Yes.
That's how that works. Now, you certainly are getting more options because there's more stuff to click on and do, but you're not getting more control. That's just ridiculous.
It's during battle. We are also revamping the boss fight.
Notice this says 2021 footage, by the way.
Challenging experience for you and
Yeah,
your
I did
team.
notice that. Yes,
So
yes,
people-
you're right.
But that was the last time Bernie 13 came out, right? We skipped it
Yeah,
this
no,
year.
yeah, way back when.
Yeah, we skipped. Did we skip it for 2 years? I don't know.
Close attention to
No,
future
this is 2020. That was
announcements
2022
where
last year. Never mind.
We can share more specific
My brain.
details.
All right, next. So now we're going to get some gameplay change, right? Some good
UI changes
map.
to the service
No.
record page. We
Okay.
plan to make adjustments to the visuals of WTR rate.
Service record. I don't see. Well, you guys can't see it. I'm looking at the top of it. I went it to full screen. It kind of screwed you up with her. Let me see if I can get this thing. Oh. Help me. All right. Service record. I don't see the Hall of Fame in here.
Ratings.
No, I don't think it is.
WTR will now be
Unless it's
divided
over on this
into
left
5
side.
Groups. Bronze, silver,
Over here.
gold, ace,
What?
and legend. Each consisting of 3 levels, for a total of 15 levels. We hope this will provide better visualization of the rating system and how your rating compares to other players. We will also be introducing the ability to customize the achievements
Yeah.
featured on your main statistics page,
Changes stuff around.
giving you the
Cool.
ability to show off your favorite medals and achievements. At the end of the day, we want to give all players the opportunity to share their achievements and make their service record more representative of their battle scores, while still allowing them to show off their proudest achievements.
We hope that you are
Be divided into
What does this look like?
bronze, silver, gold, ace, and
But they're going to get some stat shaming doing
each
now, aren't you?
consisting of 3
Oh, really?
levels, for a total of 15 levels.
Exactly, Blues. Who are you going to show it off to? I'm going to bring my family round and go, look at this. Look what I'm doing."
Stoic, my friend. That's what it looks like to me.
Yep.
If you were going to build some kind of ranked or stat-based matchmaker,
Visualized.
this is how you would have to start. You would have to come up with a way to split the players into the various ranks and whatnot. Now, this could purely be gee whiz. It's very possible. But at the same time, if you were starting to consider some kind of ranked based matchmaking stuff, you would have to do this first, or as part of it anyway.
Which is why there's that many levels, I think. Why have all those different levels? You wouldn't.
Yeah.
You know, if it was just about win rate, if it was just about your own personal stats, you wouldn't need that many levels.
Yeah. So, there you go. This is on its way. All right, so not gameplay. What else we got? What's next?
We hope that you are as excited as us about all these new updates, but we have an announcement of a few game modes that are planning to return this year. Firstly, our beloved Waffentrager that will reappear later this year and will continue the existing story. Ermelinda has been hard at work in order to protect everything she and her father have created. However, the Allies added one more Chameleon tank to their arsenal to fight her forces, the TVP T5051. So, be prepared for the return of this game mode in addition with a new tank and some new exciting changes. Another game mode that we can expect to return this year is Arcade Cabinet. While
Frontline, Steel Hunter, Reborn. whatever this one was. Messing around with making a rank system, basically.
Yeah.
Some new modes, Waffentrager. Not a single mention about core gameplay.
Nothing at all.
Not a single mention about core gameplay. Until we get to here. Let's get through this.
Yes.
Can't share too much about what's planned for the next iteration. We can tell you that the game mode will feature new unique gameplay that many of you will be excited to try out.
Wait.
And
If you get
finally,
what Super
we
Plus,
have
you can
some
rent a
more
Waffentrager.
information regarding the British wheeled
All right,
medium
British
tank.
wheeled tanks. This one was also interesting.
Many players have concerns regarding the introduction of new wheeled vehicles, but we want to clarify that these tanks will be more comparable to lightly armored mediums with good guns.
We're not going to fix the problem you don't like. We're not. I just want you to rest assured we're not going to put more problem tanks in the game.
No.
We totally jacked that one up. Sorry about that, but
And we're not going to change that.
no, we're not doing anything about it. No, we did something, which didn't do nothing, but we did something.
No. Yeah.
All right.
As opposed to current wheeled vehicles in-game that players are already familiar with. We can confirm that these tanks will not have two speed modes like the EBRs.
Seriously, what the actual F are they? What are they? What is
What's the point? Don't see it.
this? This is insane. This part of the video is actually insane. They're going through this, describing how broken and stupid a part of their game is, and then trying to assure all of us that they're not going to do that with the British wheeled tanks. And they show game footage of EBRs being pants on head stupid in the game, and they're not mentioning any kind of effort to do anything about it.
Nope. Because
It's almost like they're talking about a competitor.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, we're World of Tanks British wheeled tanks version. That World of Tanks French wheeled of tanks version. You can rest assured
Yeah.
we're not going to be those guys.
No. We won't do that to the player base. We're not going to do that at all. We don't do things like that. We're giving you balance.
This segment of this video is so epically stupid. I don't have words for it. I do not have words for how epically stupid this part of this video is. Just the way they put it together, and even the tone of his voice. He's like, "Look how stupid these EBRs are. You can rest assured we're not going to do that kind of crap. Only idiots would do that kind of stupid shit."
Oh man, oh man.
And I love it, man. This is amazing. All right.
That these tanks will have slower forward, reverse, and traverse speed, driving more similarly to tanks like the Batchat 25T.
Weird. They're not going to go fast. All right, guys. We are not making these super fast, stupid wheeled tanks this time. All right.
On the topic of tank traverse,
This is important, this part.
Note that the British wheeled mediums will not turn like the EBRs, but rather traverse on the spot, like more traditional tanks featured in the game.
All right, that's useful. Do they actually? I wonder if they actually turned that way. I assume they did. That's kind of actually interesting. Now, this is a four-wheeled tank, so it's not really able to do what the three-wheeled dudes do.
Yeah.
I know, right, Diablo? That's kind of what I'm getting at. or kind of what they're getting at, I think.
These tanks will be much larger than existing wheeled vehicles. The slower speeds and the larger models should increase the chances of causing damage
Just
when
around
hitting the
midnight, yeah. We could have amphibious tanks, couldn't we?
These models are big and flat and stupid, and you idiots should be able to hit them. Unlike these other tanks, we certainly wouldn't make any more of these smaller, really fast tanks that are hard to hit.
wheels.
Why would they?
Also, these vehicles will receive a penalty of over 60% to mobility.
What? Why is it they get a 60% penalty mobility, but the EBRs don't?
No, I know. Where did they get that? Where did they get that figure from? Why would one wheel be 60%, two wheels be 62%, three wheels 65%? Because that's what they're saying. But the EBRs don't get any percent.
They get a 25 apparently, which I actually never saw the number. I didn't realize it was 25%. But
Doesn't feel like it, does it?
But if they get another wheel damage, it gets higher and higher. Still, that rarely happens with the EBRs.
When one wheel is damaged, damaging more wheels will have a smaller effect on the tank's mobility. This differs from existing wheeled vehicles, which receive a 25% penalty and see a larger reduction in mobility with more damaged wheels. We plan to introduce the line from Tier 5, branching off from the Covenanter and leading up to Tier 10. We will also be introducing a new Tier 8 premium vehicle to the Super Test very soon. Unfortunately, it's too early to share any specific details about each of these tanks. However, we are certain that this line of tanks will be an interesting line, especially for experienced players.
We hope you found this video.
All right. We're going to go a little longer, guys. I actually have to hit the head one more time. So we're going to take a 5-minute break. We'll come back and we'll wrap this up. I think Pilgrim's got something else. Did you have something else?
No.
No. All right. Give us 5 minutes. Otherwise, my eyeballs are starting to float. 5 minutes.
Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Now in the shadows came a mysterious chap who spoke in a tongue with strange dialect. He offered his help to the mighty Guido to bring some laughter to his love of speedos. To the coffee talk they both came to bring the message of winning ways to all and sundry and the masses. Yes, that's right, lads and lasses. The damage counts and flexing back will keep you on the right track. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. So in what, if you want to progress, then seek out Guido nonetheless. With his sidekick Pilgrim, he has a message that to win you must be aggressive. The position and place that you must seek.
All right, guys, we're back. Yeah, so let's just wrap that video up here in the old coffee shop as we finish off our coffee. We're helping Gator out. Gator only has to mow and wax a car. So the longer we yap, the longer he doesn't.
Yeah, he's free of chores if he's on here.
Nostalgic Leopard says we need an Italian auto-reloaded wheeled artillery tech tree.
Yeah, we do.
One that is actually a light tank and maintains its camo on the move. Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
I'll tell you what, that last part about the wheel thing, I don't think I've seen anything that ridiculous for a long time. I don't even know where to start with literally admitting that you have a broken class and trying to promise the players that we won't include another broken class of tank into the game, yet complete unwillingness to do anything about the broken class. That is some chutzpah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That
More than that. It is more than chutzpah.
I don't even know what to say, man. Maybe I'm getting bent about something that just doesn't matter. I don't know. I mean, it's not like I'm saying the EBRs have destroyed the game or anything. I just find it really bizarre how that whole segment was put together. It's very
Like
very
they don't
strange.
actually understand. Well, it's like they don't want to admit, but they are admitting that they've introduced something into the game which has been game changing.
Right? Yeah. It's something like that. I guess. I mean, yeah. That's bizarre.
It's bizarre. Absolutely bizarre.
And then Diablo actually made a great comment because that's kind of what it seems like as well at the same time. Basically, it's trust us, they won't be broken. They're going to suck.
Yeah,
Which actually gets into a more serious discussion, of what your definition of a good tank is. Are they going to be balanced and some people will say balanced or bad because they want an overpowered tank. So I don't know, man. You can never please everybody, right?
No, that's fair enough. But yeah, well,
So we'll see what happens with those. But yeah, we should see those. Did they not mention? They didn't mention the Japanese TDs in that, but somebody else mentioned in the chat that she's a event manager, so she's going to concentrate on events. So clearly, there's other stuff coming. That's not the roadmap of everything. And who knows? Maybe there will be some more gameplay kind of adjustments and things that we just haven't heard about yet.
yeah.
Yeah, Cliffy, exactly. We'll see how it goes, man. We'll see how it goes.
Well, it's they're trying to introduce good new things that people want to do and play and diversify a little bit. I can see that. I understand it's a business. It needs to move forward, but not at the expense of the core game, which it feels very much like that.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. Yeah.
It does feel that way.
Well,
Whether it's intentional or not, it does feel that way.
They sort of got it to a level and then are riding on the coattails of that level. And for people who are fans of the core game, and that's not necessarily everybody, but I would assume it's a majority. I don't know. I just pull that percentage out of my arse.
Out of anywhere, but then yeah, exactly.
It seems to me anyway, my opinion is that they are not paying as much attention to core gameplay as they should. Of course, then the counter argument is, oh, really, Guido? Because they just tried to fix the crew system. Everybody pooed their pants. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
But they're sort of fixing things that don't really need fixing right now. But there are things that need fixing right now, like maps and like tank balance and things that,
Yeah.
Focus on what...
I mean, honestly, dude, the biggest elephant in the room is their unwillingness to balance premiums and reward tanks. I mean, a lot of what their general gameplay balance problems are those things. And even to some extent, some tech tree tanks that overperform. Just their general either unwillingness or slowness to kind of adjust tanks.
Yeah. Very true. Well, I've got a quick competition if you want.
Sure, man. Fire it up.
You want to throw that in before we go any further?
Yeah.
This is for Yarn Hub's starter pack, which is the Thunderbolt painted blue. All right. So the competition is it's one question, one answer.
One question, one answer. All right.
First to give the answer gets the starter pack, Yarn Hub's starter pack with the Thunderbolt painted blue. All right, so you don't have to buy blue paint; it'll be there for you. All right. So the question is, the first one to come with the answer: why is the 23rd of April today special to the English? First one to get it. No way, not Blue the Rock, not Henry VIII. Why is the 23rd of April special to the English. There you go. Carlos Steelhunter, St. George's Day, patron saint of England. Today is St. George's Day.
Ah, there you go.
So, Carlos, I need your in-game name. Whisper to me if you want. And the server that you play on. So I can sort the tank out for you, buddy. Just
Cliffy.
whisper to me. But I'll whisper you.
I think you're right. The fallout from that has had a long life. And Pig, you're right. Whether you are right and it's a conscious decision by them or unconscious decision, it doesn't matter, because that is the effect that we have right now.
It was rigged.
Totally rigged. All right, guys. That's about it. Unless you guys have some subject that you want me and Pilgrim to talk about. I was going to introduce a segment called Taking Calls, but we've already gone 2 hours. So, but if you got something, you got a question or you want something discussed, we can do that. Lack of balance keeps everyone shifting around. Yeah, could be. Pug drops. Yep. First, that's right. Long time listener. First time listener, long time caller. All right, Pilgrim, thanks for coming, man. Let's go see what we can do in terms of raiding. Who's out there? Let's go raid somebody and get on with our days. That's enough of this stuff, you know what I mean? What we got?
I've just sent you a whisper,
All right.
Carlos, so just reply to me with your in-game name and the server. Oh, you've done it, have you? Okay, let me just check.
Now let's go raid Dead
Got
Meat.
ya.
Dead Meat's
Got
up.
ya.
Dead Meat's up and playing. I haven't seen it for a while. You got the name there, Pilgrim?
Yeah, I've got it. Thank you.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming, Pilgrim. Thanks for coming. Let's start this raid. Get going here. That is everything that I have from the left side of the Atlantic.
That's everything I have from the crack side of the Atlantic, sir.
All right, you guys have a good rest of your Sunday. I'm going to go see John Wick 4 today. We are out. See ya.